watch.
That's fine.
Better for me to do that.
So today, basically, we're just going to go over the commissions because as you know, you probably got an email stating that starting January 1st, Lisa will be paying everyone through commissions. I know that sounds scary because considering where we are in the month and we don't have very many weeks left. But like I said, it's pretty easy. I have put some test ones in here so that we have those. I don't know why it's spinning. So I'm assuming that everyone has probably been in here and you put in a contact, you put in your opportunity. Those are the two things you have to have in there if you want to follow along. Put in a test one and follow along as we're doing this. You know, it's strictly up to you. I don't know why it's spinning. So I want to open one of these.
We have that happen frequently sometimes.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi.
I was going to go up and refresh. Okay. Maybe there. It was refreshing, maybe. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let me find one. Because one of these I've already done a commission tab on. So you're going to go to your contact. Okay, let's go to the contact tab. I like that better. And then go, I don't know why it's not bringing this up. Of course it does this when you're trying to train. Let's do Jane Doe. And I want to go to I'm sorry, let's go into opportunities. That's where I want. If you know what stage, and you will, because you're going to be moving on, what stage that particular contact is in that you want to pull up, you can pull it from here. If it's active, this looks like we have 4 actives, which are ones I put in there. And it should give you a list. This is how I usually do it, since this isn't going to work for me today. I go up here to all opportunities, and this is on your opportunity tab. It will list all of your opportunities. While I'm in here, I'll let you know that you can sort these. Like if you only want to look at your sold, it will let you sort. If you want to look at, well, I was on the wrong one, but if you want to look at buyer or listing, like put all your buyers together and all your listings together, you can sort it. So you can sort this in several different ways. I'm going to go here to Jane Doe. She's a buyer. Okay. So this takes us into where we're going to put all of our information, our details. It's very important that you put as much information as you can on this detail screen, because anything you put in your contacts and your opportunity, your details leading up to your commission sheet, your offers, it's going to pull all your information in, your buyers, your sellers, all that information, the address. While we're at this point, I do want to mention to you, it's very important that when you set your opportunity up, when it says opportunity name, please put the address. Because a lot of the times when Lisa and I are processing checks, we don't always know the buyer's name, or we don't always know the seller's name. We do everything by address, just like a loop. So your opportunity name is basically the same as your loop name. So just put the address in there, put it in there the way you address an envelope. If you want to put out behind that address, if you want to put the buyer's name, seller, because I've noticed in Dot Loop, a lot of the times you all do that, that's fine. But just make sure that address is first, so it makes it quicker and easier for us to pull it up and find the file when we're processing the checks or when we're doing compliance. So this is your details screen. And like I said, just make sure you fill out as much information as you can. If you need it, edit it, there is a pencil right here, and it kind of looks grayed out, but it is accessible. So there's a pencil here for your general information, a pencil for the property address, because a lot of the times when I'm filling out the opportunity screen or something, I don't know why I always forget to put the buyer's address, the address that they're buying. And so you can always come over here and edit. It always gives you another chance to edit things if you forget it. Let's see. don't know what the buyer profile is. Let's go to documents. I don't know if anybody has, all of you have uploaded documents or just certain ones. There are several ways of doing it. Of course, if you get the document signed in person, like a lot of agents still do, you just scan them into a folder on your desktop or wherever you want to put it and bring them in that way. There will be a place if you want a custom folder that you put them in, you can bring in the custom folders like a zip folder or zip file. Or if you're on I can't talk. If you have your documents signed through DocuSign, then you can bring them in through DocuSign as well. So there's 2 or 3 different ways of doing it. So since this is a buyer, I have tabs over here and it'll say under contract and closed. So when it goes under contract, you're going to click under contract, and then you're going to see your checklist of items here that you need for compliance. So you can load them in individually. This is strictly up to you all. If you want to load them in, you just click add file. You can browse your desktop and pull them in. Make sure that's clicked manually. If you're on DocuSign, there'll be an option here that'll say DocuSign where you can bring them in from DocuSign. Once it loads it in, it's just like putting an attachment on an email. It comes in and then you click assign and your docs are there. I've pulled in, or you can pull in a whole packet like you do in Dotloop. If you want to download it as a whole packet or scan it in as a whole packet, you can do the same thing. Add a file, find it, and bring it in and put it all up here. The only thing I ask when you do that is please don't put a lot of things in there. Anything that's not on this list, I don't need for compliance. It takes me a while, as many files that I have to review. It takes me a while if you have things in there that's not on that list, such as repairs, home inspection, appraisal, termite report, all of that. For those docs, this is what I would suggest. Over here, you have custom folders. You can create as many custom folders as you want. You can name them whatever you want. So you can add a custom folder, and we're going to put on here repairs. We're just going to name it repairs and create it. So like I said, you can create as many over here as you want. So then you would click on there, and then you would add a document, just like you do on the other one where it said add file. You just add document, and you do the same thing. So that way your entire file can go in here, not just your compliance documents. When it's closed, there's your closed file. These you will need to add in individually. Now, if you have a referral, we prefer that you put that in closed, because that at the time that we don't need that referral information until it is closed and we're getting ready to pay you. So if you have a W-9, which all of your referrals, in order to do your commissions, and I'll show you in a minute, when you add your referral to your commission sheet, you need a W-9. You might also want to put your referral agreement in the closed file. That way, Lisa or myself, when we're doing it, we can look and see what you agreed on. If you agreed upon a 25% referral or whatever you agreed on, because your W-9, of course, won't have that information. If you forget, if you submit your commission sheet and you forget and you say, oh, I forgot to put that on there, email me and Lisa and say, I forgot to put this on there. We can send that commission sheet back to you, and you put it on there and you resubmit. And I'll show you when I get to the commission sheet. But so if this was a listing, then you would have a folder over here that would say listed. Click listed, and that's where you would put your listing docs that's on your check sheet. And also you can add folders there for anything that's not like master deeds or your condo information or homeowner information, homeowner association information, or anything like that that's not on your checklist there for compliance. So on the right is the documents you need for compliance. On the left, you can create folders for anything else that's not on the list. Okay, so once you get documents in there and you have an accepted offer, then you're going to go to offers and you're going to input an offer. I've already put one in there, but say, let's do another one. You can click add offer. You can name it whatever you want. You can put initial offer, you can put backup offer, you can put offer from, and whatever agent is submitting the offer. That's strictly your notes. So you can do it whatever. And then just create offer. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through, and this is an offer detail screen. So you want to put as much information as you can. Only the ones with the red asterisk is mandatory that you have to have in there. So if you don't want to put all the information, that's strictly up to you. You want to make sure you do have an offer date in there and you have a close date, approximate close date in there, and the address, of course. And then you click parties. Oh, I have to put it in there before I can move. Okay. So this is where you're going to fill out, of course, your buyer's name going to automatically populate from the prior tabs that you filled out. Then you're going to put the seller's name. And then you're going to, and you can put all this information for the buyer if you know it. Most of the time we don't know that for seller if we're the buyer. We put pre-approved, pre-qualified, our buyers both. Then you're going to have your representation, what agents represent which party. So on your seller side, you'll put the agent that's representing, I'm going to use Cheryl. And then you're going to go to terms. And this is just going to be the terms of the contract. It's going to say, and it'll say, you know, everybody knows, it'll tell how much cash, what the financed amount is. We're going to put their finance in the full amount. So that way it will automatically add it and populate your sales price. This is what drives it onto your commission sheet. It will send this sales price over to your commission sheet. I failed to mention, because I already had an offer in here. If you do not have an offer, before you put this offer in there and accept it, this commission tab is going to be grayed out. You won't even have access to it. Because keep in mind, you have to have an accepted offer, of course, to be paid. So they gray that out until you put an accepted offer. You can put as many offers in here as you want. And that makes it easier when you're with your seller or yourself or your seller to see them all in line and kind of compare them. So let's go through. There's not going to be any extra fees or anything like that. Agent analysis. This is where you want to put your pros and cons to your, the pro is no additional fees. The con, and this is like when you're sitting there with your client, you can say, well, this is what's good about this contract, and this is what, you know, okay, we're going to say it's contingency. And then a summary, you can type whatever you want in your summary. It's just your personal preference. And you don't have to fill any of this out if you don't want. You can skip it. Just click save and go to the next. Okay, so you've got your offers. So there's one, and here's one. And I got two different addresses on there, but anyway. I had already accepted it. There is a button that will say accept or reject. So what you will do, and I thought I had one where I didn't, but anyway, what you will do is accept one. If you have more than one in there, of course, you're going to reject the others. Once you accept it, then this commission, you'll see this commission tab turn to black so that you can get into it. So let's go to the commission tabs, because this is the main thing of our training today. Actually, I needed to get a new one. Okay, this is pulling it over. It automatically up here will give you your general information. For some reason right now, I know we had a contract date in there, and for some reason it's not picking it up. So you just go up here and edit. And you want to make sure you do have a contract date in there. Save changes. Okay. Now we're going to start talking about, okay, this particular transaction only had one agent. So of course it gives the one agent the full 1 units. the system automatically calculates, well, it will automatically calculate the commission for that agent. This is your total commission and what the commission rate is and the total units. So I'm getting the total units. So of course I'm going to get all the commission. And it breaks it down here. Now, there is a place on here, as you see, it has caps. These caps at the moment, I don't believe are accurate. I don't think that they have command in what we call Winmore, which is the system that we pay the agents through and that holds this information, are not talking to one another, and they're not all, some are off a little. So we'll find out for sure when they will, and Lisa and I will do some tests and see how off they are or how accurate they are. So for right now, don't focus on this too much because it could be right, it could not be right. But when we pull it through to Winmore, like I said, Winmore will pay you correctly, and it will, because that's where everything is built in. So it will override what's on this sheet. So you will get paid correctly. Now let's say that you're going to pay, okay, if you only have one agent on there and you know everything is right, this is right, then you're going to hit submit. Now, if you want to send me or Lisa a note, you can put a note right there. I'm trying to think of something you might send us, but anyway, there's a note. If you have another agent on this transaction, I've already put me in as one unit. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I forgot. I told so-and-so I would give them a referral on this. Now, when I say that, I mean an agent in our market center. You would just add them as another agent. So, or any other agent on your team that's on the transaction. But especially like if you have a referral that you're paying to an agent in our market center. So you're going to click add another agent, and this would be either scenario, whether it's a referral or you have two agents on your team that's on this. Let's see, let me see. Jill, I'm going to pick on you. I'm going to pick you. Let's see. So I'm going to give her, I'm going to split my units 50-50. We'll put 50 in there, and you just click calculate commission. It'll automatically calculate it for you. Okay, if you know any of this for her, which a lot of times people don't, you put it there. If you are going to, let's say this is an agent on your team and it's not a referral. This is just another agent on your team. Down here at the bottom here, you're going to see add item. This is where, and I'll go back to the first agent too. But you're going to choose the type. So you're going to choose, we never use inside referral, okay? You would choose outside referral if it's an outside referral. And this is where you put your information for your outside referral, what percentage. And I believe it calculates it for you. Let's see. Yeah. So say you and the other agent on the team is splitting a referral. If you agree to 25%, then this person's going to pay 12.5% and the other one's going to pay 12.5% because that's the 25% referral. If you have an agent that's paying it all, you just put 25% and it'll calculate it for you. Tax ID, usually it's an EIN. Tax ID number. This is why you need a W-9. I would suggest that you make a paper file, and anybody that you pay referrals on, keep your W-9 in a paper file. I think some of them keep them on their desktop, whichever is easiest for you, because you're always going to have to put this information every time you pay a referral. So, and then you're going to put the broker company name that you're going to pay it to, the agent name that it's going to go to. Now, I had someone ask me, and this is a good question. If it's not a particular agent and it's a company that refers it, then I would just put the company name here and the company name here, because you have to put something in here. If you have an agent, specific agent in that brokerage, put the agent number here, or name, I'm sorry. And then the address, this is where Lisa will know, where to mail the check to. Phone number, it says you have to put a phone number in there in case we need to contact them. So that's what you would put a referral there. Let me go back here and take the referral off of this so I can put it on the other one. Okay, so we've got me. Say I forgot to put the referral on this. I'm going to see if I can go in here and edit that and add it. Yes. Okay. So I'm the only one on this transaction. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click all the way to the bottom, click add item, and put my outside referral. Now, the deductions, some people have deductions taken out for like a tax account that they have set up and they want the money taken out at the time they get paid and put into that account. I'm not sure about concessions. Bonus, if you're on a plan that you collect admin fees, or even if you're not and you want to collect, because there's some agents that have I know they went over the KW My Way in the meeting this morning. There are some plans where you don't have to collect an admin fee, but some agents do. You click bonus and that's where you're going to put it. So you're going to put the amount here. As far as this split with Market Center, don't worry about that right now. Lisa has it programmed in Winmore, which ones we split, which ones we don't. So don't worry about that right now. Like I said, she's got them set up in Winmore to do that. So most of the time it's $250. I think that's the standard. Now, that's the standard in the KW My Way, but some agents collect a little more than that. So, but that's where you would put the additional information there. Let's see. You can add as many agents as you need to. So, like I said, keep in mind, we added or pretended to add a second one. If you want to add a third one, when you get back out, it's going to list me here. It's going to list the second one down here. Then you go to the top and you click add another agent. You can put a third one on there. When you do that though, I would suggest that before you start putting your commission sheet in, I would have noted in my head how much your unit splits are going to be. Like mine, I've got one on all mine, but there was another agent. When we go in to edit this, the system, once I put this in here, it's me getting all of it. It's automatically going to populate it. I have seen that sometimes when you add another agent and you change the units, it does not change the amount, so you might have to manually change it. It's supposed to calculate it, but just look at it and make sure that it does. For some reason, the system automatically takes what you put in there the very first time, and you have to manually change things after that. So you'll want to look at that just to make sure that all your units are right, and it'll give you an error over here. You'll get errors. Say if you've left off your contract date, it'll give you a red box over here and it'll say, I think it says error in listing or something like that. Well, this is your general information for your listing or your purchase. It'll say something about the commission amounts are off, but you'll get red messages over here when there's something wrong, and you can't submit it if there's errors. If you ever have a question about it, email me. I'll be glad to. I can log in and I can look at everybody's account, so I can go in and look at your commission sheet if you're getting an error, and I can tell you, or we can look at it together and figure out what the error is. Trying to think if there's anything else. Like I said, if you ever forget to put something on here, if you forget the commission, email me. If you forget a referral, email me. If your system, and this is if you've already submitted your commission sheet, you've submitted it to me, and then you're like, oh, I forgot to put that referral on there. Send me an email, copy Lisa on it, send it to me because Lisa stays pretty busy. Copy me on it. I can go in and return the commission sheet to you to add it on there. And I'll send you an email and say, hey, I've returned it to you. You know, just add it on there and resubmit it. Because there's nothing on here you can't change or add if you forget something. If it's gone far enough to where it's closed and you've already turned your check in, or you haven't turned your check in, it's closed, and you remember something, or say you get to the closing table or close to the closing, and you decide to give your seller a break and reduce your commission a little bit, or if there's a change at the closing table, write it on that commission sheet, because you'll still fill out that commission sheet that goes on the front of your checks when you turn them in. So anything different, you can shoot us an email, write it on the commission sheet, but it's real important to tell us, because once Lisa cuts that check, it's hard to back it all out and reissue it. So if you have any questions, I'd rather you ask, up front, and let's get it corrected. Or we can, if it gets to the point where we can't return it and you put it on there, Lisa and I can manually force it. We can manually change it in Winmore. So don't get upset if you forget something or you think there's an error on there. We can fix it one way or another. But the reason we return it is because we feel like it's better than us correcting it every time. It's better for us to return it and let you see how to fix it or how to add it on there. Okay, so does anybody have any questions thus far?
What's the option fee for?
What option?
Option fee, I think, is on the other back side. I don't think it's in commissions. I think it's in offers.
In offers?
Yeah, there's an option fee.
I don't know. I didn't see options.
There it is.
Where is it?
It's actually got a date, 12/5/20 option fee. Or no, that's the close date, and then option fee 0 for the little earnest amount.
Option fee, I think that is the fees such as like home warranty, closing costs and prepaids.
Okay, if it's getting paid out of, I guess it's all part of it. No, I'm never mind. It's part of it. Closing costs and prepaids, maybe.
Well, that would be on your prior tab, and you do fill that in.
Right. So I don't know what option fee is.
I'm not sure, but that's a good question. I'll ask. See if I can figure that out. But it would have pulled it, when you get to that point, it would have pulled it from somewhere on one of these other tabs.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. The option fee is any other optional fees, because really the home warranty is optional. The closing costs and prepaids is optional.
Okay.
Those additional fees. I'm thinking that's what they are, but I will find out and let you know for sure. Okay, so we covered adding an agent to your commission sheet, how to add agents. We covered how to add referrals. And like I said, we never use inside referrals. If it's an inside agent, an agent in our market center, you just add them as another agent, just like you did your green sheets. Basically, anytime you would put referrals on there would be if it's an outside referral. And like I said, make sure you have a W-9, and a referral agreement in the closed folder. Even though it hasn't closed yet, go ahead and put it in there, so that when it closes, it's right there with the closing docs, and we can make sure the settlement statement's right on your other. We're looking at all those documents because all those documents support your pay and how we pay you. So make sure, go ahead and put your referral documents in closed, because that's where Lisa and I will be looking for it.
I got one more question.
Okay.
Under the document tab, there is an all sales contract documents. Is that if you have everything, you can submit it in the order that you have it laid out here?
Under contract?
Yeah, rather than doing individual PDFs of everything.
Yes, you can put it in as a packet.
If you have everything.
If you have everything. If you're missing something, I'll return the entire packet to you and
That's what I
say,
thought. Okay.
So that's what's good about doing the individuals. And I know some people like doing the individuals because they put them in there as they get them. I guess some people get them in stages. They don't always get them at the same time. You can add them in as you get them and then just not submit it until you have everything.
Because you can't split it once it's in there. Like
No, you can't. You can't split docs like you did, and I don't like that. But and if they're scanning there sideways, I don't know how to rotate them, but that's okay. It's no big deal. I can turn my head. But yes, you can put them in as a packet. Like I said, the only thing I ask when you put it in as a packet to put just what's on this list. Because like I said, when I open a packet and it has all that other stuff, it's like, it takes a long time. And sometimes I will tell you, and everybody's probably experienced this, command runs slow sometimes. And when I've got, over 200 agents I'm trying to review docs for, and they have all that in there, it takes me a whole lot longer to go through those on each file when I'm just looking just for these. You will get notification. If you notice there's a bell at the top up here, that's where you will get notification. If I return something and say, hey, you're missing this or you're missing that, I always give you a reason for rejection. If I reject a document, I'll say, hey, you're missing a signature here, you're missing an initial, something like that, or you're just completely missing a doc. You'll be notified. And what you would do is you would go in and you replace that. Over here where it says add file, once it's added, you'll see these 3 dots. Now you can remove it if it's wrong. But it won't do it now, but when it's returned and these 3 docs, you can click, there'll be an option that says replace. You can click replace once you get what you need and then pull it all back in. And it'll replace it and then you resubmit it. So let's see, let me think here. If I return this to you and there's one document that's missing, I have to return something to you, and that's the only thing I have in here to return. I'll return it and I'll put, hey, you're missing your seller's disclosure for the buyer or your seller's disclosure. Instead of downloading or replacing this entire packet, you don't have to click replace. Once you just go down here to seller's disclosure, if I can find it,
just add it in.
And just add it in by itself, resubmit, and I'll see that. I'll approve it, and then I'll go ahead and approve your packet too. So just because I return the full packet, you don't have to replace the full packet. You can just get what you're missing and put it in here. And it'll notify me that you've resubmitted something, and I'll look to see what you resubmitted. Trying to think of what else. Does anybody have any other questions or about what we've gone over? I know this is a lot, and I'm doing another Zoom on Friday. You might want to you can play around with this in the meantime, do like I did, just put some test files in there, because you can always archive the files. You can always archive your contacts. Let me go over to contacts. And all of y'all probably know, if you're not familiar with what these icons are, you can click on that red KW and it'll tell you what they are. So if you want to, say let's archive Barbie. We don't need Barbie doll anymore. Just go to archive and archive her. And it'll ask you, are you sure you want to archive? Yeah, we'll archive. So it will archive it. Now you can still get to your archives, if you need to. I don't know how many people have the little booklet that I made up back in May and gave out to several of the admins. I have a booklet that has some step-by-step notes on creating a contact, creating an opportunity, putting your documents in, archiving your contacts, several notes. If you want one of those, email me. I will make you a packet. I need to make some new ones. Like I said, I've passed them out to the admins in this office. Most of the admins, I think, have them. But anytime y'all need an extra one or something like that, I'll be more than happy to make up one. Now, I did make it up in May. I don't think there's any changes to any of that, but there could be. So if you're going down my list, my notes of step by step, this basically was notes that I took. So they may not make sense to you, but it's a starting point. Go down there, write in your own notes or strike something out and make it to where you understand it a little bit better. Because not everybody's note makes sense to everybody either. You know, I might take notes on something that doesn't make sense to somebody. So that's a little booklet just to start you out. If you want one, just email me and I'll be glad to get one to you. Any questions? Everybody's so quiet today. And like I said, email me. I'm more than happy to do one-on-ones if you prefer to learn that way. That I like that, where I can sit next to you or we can do a Zoom one-on-one and just do it. I have sat with several in here one-on-one, and I've got 2 others that I'm doing this week. I'll be more than happy to do one-on-one. Sometimes it's easier if the 2 of us can sit and walk through it together. And because when you have a class like this, it's good to have a bunch of people on here. And I appreciate every one of you all taking the time to join today. And but sometimes people, you know, everybody learns differently. Some people like watching videos and teaching themselves. That's fine. Some people like, you know, learning in a group. This is the way we do our group now, of course. Some people like doing one-on-one training, and that's fine too. So reach out to me or Lisa, either one, and let us know, you know, if you feel like that you want us to sit with you or do one-on-one, we'll be more than happy to do that. We're here to get you trained however's best for you. Keep in mind, we are going to try to have everybody in command by the end of the year. That's our goal. Agents start paying agents through command effective January 1. So, like I said, we're going to have a lot of training and a lot of one-on-ones, but that's okay. We'll get it done. Okay, we've already got somebody saying they want one-on-one. I'll get with you, Manu. Thank you. Anybody have any questions before I end? I hope this helped you all, and it did answer a few questions and kind of gave you an overview. Like I said, I encourage everybody to get in and just look at it, go around, make up some test dummies, you know, just some fake files. That's the best way I have found. That's how I taught myself. There's a lot of YouTube videos you can watch. I know, and most of them are like 2 and 3 minute videos. When I send you an email, I have 2 links on the bottom of my email that tells you how to put in a commission tab and how to add a referral to the commission tab. It's a very like a 2-minute, would you say? 2-minute video, and it gives you the basics of it. So that's another way for you to, that might answer some questions that you might have. But if y'all don't have any more questions, like I said, we'll go ahead and end it. And again, I appreciate you all tuning in. Hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rita?
Thanks, Rita.
You're welcome.
Rita, I would like to get a booklet of that one too. Booklet
Okay.
of comment.
Okay, I will get you one.
Thank you, Miss Rita.
Thank you
You're
so
very
much.
welcome. Thank you.
Mhm.
Wait till I-
Emailed you the same packet request thing, so whenever you have a chance, I'll have one.
I don't know how to get this off.
Too. So I have
Hmm.
a question. When do I put the offer in? So the offer you can put in once we have an accepted offer for sure. Once it's a sales contract, then